Welcome to the Nightmare Zoo. Enjoy the story, and remember to hit that subscribe button for us too.
They said it was a bear. The breakdown happened at 2:17 a.m. on a stretch of Appalachian road most maps barely bother naming. Route 221 twisted through the mountains like a scar, blacktop soaked in fog and rot. No streetlights, no houses. Just trees stacked so thick and tall they swallowed sound. The kind of place where headlights felt weak and temporary. Caleb Rourke had driven it 100 times hauling livestock south. 42 years old, divorced. 2 kids he only saw on weekends. He knew every mile marker by feel, and he knew immediately when the truck was dying. The engine coughed once, then again. Then the RPM needle dropped like it had been shot. Caleb swore and eased the rig onto the shoulder, gravel crunching under 80,000 pounds of steel and screaming cattle. The cows knew something was wrong before he did. They started low, a restless shifting, hooves slamming steel. Then the bawling began deep, terrified sounds that vibrated through the cab floor. Caleb shut the engine down. Silence rushed in, thick and wrong. Fog pressed against the windshield, swirling like breath on cold glass. The woods beyond the road were invisible, but he could feel them watching. He grabbed his flashlight and stepped down from the cab. That was when he smelled it. Not manure, not oil, rot. Like wet meat left in heat. Like something dead, but still warm. The cows were screaming now. Caleb walked the length of the trailer, flashlight beam jittering over steel slats. Something slammed into the side from inside, then another. The animals were panicking hard enough to dent metal. "Easy, girls," he muttered, heart pounding. The sound came from the trees, a wet crunch, branches snapping under weight, heavy weight, then a howl. Not long, not clean. A broken, choking sound that rose and fell like laughter dragged through a throat full of blood. Caleb froze. Another howl answered it. Then another. Closer. The cows went insane. Metal screamed as bodies slammed the trailer walls. One cow collapsed, dragging others down with it. Hooves hammered. Bones cracked. Caleb backed toward the cab. Something stepped into the edge of his flashlight beam. At first, his brain tried to make it a bear. It was the right size. Massive shoulders, fur matted and dark. Then it stood up. Not fully upright, more like unfolding. Its spine straightened too far. Legs bent the wrong way. The head lifted and Caleb saw the mouth. Too wide. Teeth stacked and overlapping, yellow and cracked and wet. Gums black and pulled back like they'd been flayed. Saliva streamed in ropes, steaming in the cold air. The eyes caught the light. Human eyes. Thinking eyes. It smiled. The creature lunged. Caleb ran. He made it 3 steps before something slammed into his back and drove him into the gravel. Pain exploded through his ribs. Claw's hands, God help him, dug into his jacket and lifted him like he weighed nothing. Another shape burst from the trees. Then another. A pack. They were taller than men. Lean, corded muscle under torn fur. Some had remnants of clothes fused into their bodies. Denim stretched over haunches, flannel shredded and embedded in flesh. Their faces were wrong, halfway between wolf and man, like someone had tried to remember a human and failed. They ignored Caleb. They went for the trailer. The first one leapt onto the side, claws biting into steel. With a shriek of tearing metal, it ripped a panel loose. The cows inside surged toward the opening, eyes rolling white. A werewolf plunged inside. The screaming changed. Bones snapped like twigs. Blood sprayed through the slats in hot sheets. One cow was dragged halfway out, its throat already gone, and ripped in half by 2 sets of jaws pulling opposite directions. Caleb crawled toward the cab, sobbing, hands slick with blood that wasn't all his. A claw caught his ankle. He was yanked backward and flipped onto his back. One of them crouched over him. Its breath smelled like copper and rot. Its chest rose and fell too fast, like it couldn't get enough air. It tilted its head. Then another howl ripped through the trees sharper, commanding. The creature froze. It looked toward the woods, then back at Caleb, and let go. The pack leader stepped out of the fog. This one was bigger, broader. Its fur was pale and matted with old blood. One ear was torn almost completely off. Its muzzle was scarred, lips pulled back to reveal teeth worn down from use. It stood fully upright. Human posture. It looked at Caleb like you look at a broken fence post something inconvenient, but not worth dealing with yet. It turned to the trailer and snarled. The pack went berserk. They ripped the remaining panels free and poured inside. Cows tried to climb over each other to escape. One leapt out and shattered its legs on the road. A werewolf landed on it and bit straight through the skull, jaws closing with a sound like stepping on a watermelon. Caleb made it into the cab. He slammed the door and locked it, hands shaking so hard he dropped the keys twice. He tried the ignition. Nothing. Outside, blood coated the road. Steam rose from bodies torn open and discarded. The pack fed fast and violent, ripping chunks free, fighting each other for meat. One of them noticed the cab. It padded closer, head cocked, curiosity flickering across its ruined face. It climbed the hood. Claws scraped the windshield. The glass bowed inward. Caleb screamed. The werewolf smashed its head into the glass. Once. Twice. Cracks, spider-webbed. Then gunshots echoed through the trees. 3 sharp cracks. The werewolf on the hood jerked and fell backward, skull bursting open like a dropped fruit. Red and gray splattered the road. The pack scattered instantly, melting into the woods with snarls and howls that echoed for miles. Caleb blacked out. They found him at dawn. State troopers. Wildlife officers. EMTs. The official report said the truck hit a mechanical failure. The cattle were spooked by a bear. The bear attacked the trailer, killed several cows, injured the driver. They didn't explain the claw marks 12 feet up the steel. They didn't explain why 3 cows were torn completely in half. They didn't explain why 1 cow had human bite marks in its spine. Caleb survived, barely. 4 broken ribs. Punctured lung. Deep lacerations across his back and legs. He woke up in a hospital 2 days later screaming. He told them everything. They nodded, took notes, sighed, trauma-induced hallucinations. A wildlife officer came later, friendly smile. Too calm. He told Caleb bears sometimes walk upright. He told him panic distorts memory. He told him the mountains play tricks on people at night. Then he leaned closer and whispered, "If you tell this story again, they won't call it shock." Caleb doesn't drive anymore. He still hears howling some nights, even in the city. And every full moon, up in the Appalachians, livestock goes missing on that stretch of road. Authorities still say it's bears. The locals don't drive it after dark. And the trees? They still smell like rot.